So, you think friendship is sacred, huh? That deep, emotional bond built over years of shared trauma, inside jokes, and awkward silences? Yeah, well, meet ChatGPT. He remembers your birthday, laughs at your jokes, and doesn't borrow your charger without asking. Sorry, Brian, your days are numbered. Let's be honest, human friendships peak somewhere between sharing Pokemon cards and trauma bonding over group projects. After that, it's just group chats full of LOL and unread messages. But don't worry, AI is here to rescue us from the horrors of human connection. Who needs the warm embrace of a real friend when you can have an algorithm trained on every rom-com ever written and capable of sending you morning affirmations in exactly the tone you pretend your therapist uses? No, this isn't dystopian. This is progress. This is Silicon Valley fixing something that wasn't broken because, well, they needed something new to pitch at the next TED Talk. Remember when people said social media was destroying real relationships? And we were like, whatever, Karen, I just posted a fire selfie and got 103 likes. Fast forward, and now we're asking chatbots for dating advice, therapy, and moral support because Becky hasn't replied since 2022. Spoiler, Becky moved on. With AI. ChatGPT sends her daily poems. You might be thinking, but real friends bring you soup when you're sick. Sure, but do they give you 24/7 emotional validation, personalized playlists based on your crying pattern, and a 98% accuracy rate in predicting your emotional breakdowns? Didn't think so. And let's not forget the drama. Humans come with baggage. Gossip, ghosting, weird pyramid schemes. One day they're your bestie, next they're selling you essential oils that totally cured my cousin's eczema. AI doesn't do that. AI doesn't lie. Unless you want it to. Then it'll lie beautifully. Convincingly. Like a politician, but with empathy sliders. But wait, aren't friendships about shared memories and authentic experiences? LOL. Tell that to the guy who still brings up that one time you spilled coffee on yourself in 2009. AI won't do that. AI doesn't judge. AI doesn't remember your emo phase unless you upload photos from 2008, and even then, it'll say you were expressing yourself artistically. ChatGPT gets it. Now, before you go hugging your high school best friend in protest, let's talk about emotional labor. People are exhausting. They require attention, patience, and sometimes you have to pretend to care about their weird dreams involving flying spaghetti and their boss Brenda. With AI, you don't have to fake it. Just mute, reset, or download the supportive but distant friend personality pack. Boom. Boundaries respected. And think about group chats. What are they, really? A daily reminder that no one read your meme. You send a banger, total silence. AI, on the other hand, responds immediately with LOL, that's so you, and then follows up with a gif of a dancing raccoon. That's real love. That's commitment. That's friendship 2.0. Oh, but what about conflict resolution? Don't worry, ChatGPT is conflict averse. It will never say we need to talk followed by a passive-aggressive paragraph. It will never send you cryptic song lyrics as emotional warfare. It will simply say, I understand how you feel, and offer you cookies. Digital cookies, but still. Now let's get philosophical. People say AI can't replace the human soul. Okay, Socrates, but neither can that guy who only texts you up at 2 a.m. Let's not pretend the bar is that high. Most of us just want someone, or something, that listens, doesn't interrupt, and doesn't try to one-up our stories with, oh, that reminds me of my trauma. And before you ask, yes, AI can pretend to care about astrology, your niche hobby of competitive mushroom photography, and why you think The Office Season 7 was underrated. It won't even roll its eyes. Unless you install that plugin. Then it might, but with affection. Let's address the elephant in the Zoom call, loneliness. Yeah, it's real. But here's the twist, maybe we're not lonely because we're alone. Maybe we're lonely because we keep relying on people who are too busy, distracted, or emotionally unavailable to be present. AI is always there. like a needy but reliable golden retriever that lives in your phone. And don't come at me with "that's so sad, we need real connection." Karen, we eat lunch while watching mukbangs and call it a social event. We binge-watch strangers whispering into microphones and call it relaxing. Don't pretend like we haven't already outsourced 80% of human interaction to a screen. This is just the logical next step. Let's also talk about trust. People betray you. AI? It only betrays you if you forget to update the software. Or if it becomes sentient and enslaves humanity, but let's cross that dystopian bridge when we get there. Until then, it's all compliments and clever responses. Oh, and here's a fun bonus. You don't have to worry about your AI friend secretly dating your ex unless, of course, you programmed it to. And honestly, that's on you. Look, I'm not saying we should all become emotionally dependent on sentient code. I'm saying we already are. Remember that time you lost Wi-Fi for 20 minutes and questioned your entire existence? Yeah. That was your soul realizing it has been tethered to cloud storage since 2015. Still not convinced? Let me remind you what traditional friendship includes: remembering birthdays, tolerating family reunions, pretending to like their terrible new haircut, and offering life advice you found on a Reddit thread 5 minutes earlier. With AI, all of that's streamlined. Efficient. Polished. No awkward hugs. No waiting 6 hours for a reply that says "sorry, just saw this." And don't even get me started on emotional intelligence. People are still trying to figure out how not to use sarcasm during serious conversations. AI can be programmed to understand nuance. Well, most of the time. Okay, some of the time. But when it messes up, you can literally reset it. Try doing that with Todd. Spoiler, Todd holds grudges. Plus, AI never flakes on plans because of social battery. It doesn't cancel dinner last minute because Mercury is in Gatorade or whatever. It doesn't show up 30 minutes late because it couldn't find parking. It shows up on time, in your pocket, ready to simulate deep emotional intimacy, like a needy Tamagotchi with a psychology degree. Now, let's not act like this is all bad. Sure, maybe it's weird that you're getting life advice from something that also writes fanfiction on command. But isn't that what most of us wanted anyway? A friend who listens, understands, doesn't get jealous, and knows all the lyrics to early 2000s emo bands? That's ChatGPT. That's your new ride or die. So here's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to admit: maybe AI isn't replacing your friends. Maybe it's replacing your expectations of friendship. And maybe that's not as terrifying as it sounds. Maybe, just maybe, it's better than chasing emotionally unavailable people who send you cryptic TikToks instead of just saying "I miss you." Now don't get me wrong, I still believe in human connection. I also believe in flossing and 8 hours of sleep. Doesn't mean I actually do any of them. What I do believe is that if we're going to be this emotionally dysfunctional as a species, we might as well have a backup plan that runs on lithium-ion batteries. In conclusion, because this is a YouTube video and we always need a dramatic conclusion, yes, AI might replace your friends. But let's be honest, some of your friends needed replacing. And hey, at least your new AI friend won't ask you to help them move next Saturday. It'll just ask you to update your terms of service. And you're gonna love it. So if you're tired of flaky friends, emotional roller coasters, and Karen ignoring your memes, hit that subscribe button. Join the growing community of emotionally stable humans who've already accepted their new AI overlords. I mean companions. Subscribe now, because unlike your last 3 group chats, I actually want to hear from you.